You don't need headphones. This is just me to monitor to make sure that we sound loud enough and that like the game sounds aren't overpowering, which it sounds like they're not right now. This seems quieter than it was when I left, so I'm just gonna like.
Are we on? Are we live?
Oh yeah, we're up. We're up. We're in now. Hello.
Hey.
You're very quiet. I'm not sure why.
Why am I so quiet? Hey, stream, can you hear me? Who's on the stream?
Oh, is it because I zeroed out our gain? It is because I zeroed out our gain. Because I'm a smart person and I zeroed our gain before walking away from the mics and then forgot to turn them back up again. Hey Socks, how do we sound now? We sound great, right?
How do we sound?
You can be honest with us.
Thumbs up.
I think there are emoji in this. I think you can do like the colon thing. There we go. There we go.
My drink here.
Nope, didn't work. Okay. So
How many people? How do we know how many people are in the stream?
we got 5 viewers right now.
5 viewers on the stream. I shared this in the MagFest Slack. We'll see.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if we get some extra support over there.
Yeah, I mean, like, with this sort of stuff, it's like we put it out there, we put it into the world, maybe we clip it, who knows.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mark.
We're at 3.6%. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. So, yeah, I guess let's just start with introductions again. I'm Matt. I run the stream here. I do stream stuff. Been a volunteer here. I think I started around the time y'all started doing Wonderville stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You came to a meeting at
Yes.
Floating Point.
Yes.
With Ayla.
Yes.
And
after 8-bit night.
Yeah.
Because I talked to someone, I think Andy. I talked to Andy, and Andy was just like, come to a board meeting. I said, okay. And then I got invited to a Slack where I lurked for about a full year before doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Slack's intense.
The Slack is intense. It's tough. And I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah. No, I think there are a lot of lurkers in the Slack.
There are a lot of lurkers in the Slack. But that was like the first indie gaming event I went to ever in New York. Like, I think I'd been going to MagFest already, which I didn't realize y'all had anything to do with at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the donation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Unagadora. 2222. We're getting a lot of like one number over and over again. We've had a few 666s, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Not to say that that's worse than 2222. 2222 is strictly better. Thank you.
Somebody can donate 6666 or 420. You know, any of those are real nice.
We could use a 420. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess it was like, yeah, for me it was lo-fi night where I was just like, oh cool, there's an indie game scene that I didn't know existed in New York. Whoops, my bad. Wasn't looking in the right places apparently.
So funny thing about lo-fi night. So like we in 18, we started with friends, which is like a membership drive.
Oh, so that was really close to when that event happened, right?
Right, it was the beginning. So at the beginning of 2018, we started our With Friends memberships. And we realized like we had only been doing events sporadically, but now that we were having people donate monthly, we kind of were like, well, we should be doing events on a monthly basis.
Right.
And without a space, that's a fucking crazy
really
thing.
hard.
And so every month.
Before you go further in the story, could you introduce yourself?
Oh, hi, I'm Mark. I am the founder of Death by Audio Arcade.
Which is to say you are very equipped to tell the story.
Yeah. We are a nonprofit. We're hosting the stream, and we build arcade installations for indie game developers. And then after 5 years of doing that, I co-founded Wonderville, which is the place we're sitting in right now.
Right on. So, back into the story. With friends, one event a month. That's hard.
One event a month. And so we had come back from MagFest, which pretty much is our January, 'cause that's crazy. And we talked with a venue called Elsewhere, which is based in Brooklyn. And fun fact about Elsewhere. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just a lot of Brooklyn love on the stream tonight.
Yeah,
it's been happening.
Elsewhere, when we were at Death by Audio, they were our neighbors at Glasslands.
Oh, I never put that together.
Yeah. So they were around the corner from us. We knew them. Hey,
hello, everyone. Can I get a couple dry erase markers?
Oh, yeah. Witchball tournament time.
There's a tournament happening, so I have to hand these markers over here.
So we talked to Elsewhere, and they were like, why don't you bring in some cabinets? We have this sky bridge. You can install them.
Cool as hell space.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
But then they were like, why don't you do an event every week in the sky bridge? And we were like, that's crazy. We only agreed to an event every month, but I suppose we could do an event every week and elsewhere. So Lo-Fi Night was one event. We also did a weird video synth night with Alan Riley, centered around Video Freak. I'm gonna miss a couple things. We did an event centered around a Death by Audio photo book by Ebru Yildiz. She basically put out this photo book about the end of Death by Audio, so we put up her photos. And that whole gallery was in collaboration with a group called the Sheep's Meow, and we asked them to install some games, and one of the games they installed was Witchball. So Witchball has been
full circle.
Yeah. So Witchball has been like part of what we've been doing for like a long time.
Yeah.
It's been at Baby Castles. It's been at different galleries, and we've always kind of been a fan of it. And it wasn't until like we met Ilya, and they were like, "We'd love to build this cabinet," where we said, "Yeah, let's do it."
That's awesome. Yeah. I like sort of got like half of that story from Ilya when he was up here before, but like, what is? So I remember we were having all these conversations about like, do we want to build a cabinet for MagFest? What do we want to do? What game do we want to pick? And then around this time we had like a Witchball Tournament Tuesday here, and then just sort of left Witchball up in here, and we're like, actually, this game looks really cool. The control scheme works perfectly for an arcade cabinet. It's like the right match length and all of that stuff. How did the connection get made with Ilya? Like, I know he's a super fan of the game, which rocks.
Yeah. So it's really funny. Ilya and his partner Say came in here. They run a drone racing obstacle course.
That's the same event. Okay.
Yeah. So they came to Wonderville to look at the space as a potential venue for a drone race obstacle course. And during their walkthrough, they started playing Witchball. And they were like, oh my God, are you building a cabinet for Witchball? And we were like, just me. I said, I've been thinking about it for a long time. And they were like, well, we're fabricators. Can we make it? And I was like, absolutely. I've been building a cabinet is a big time commitment.
It is, yeah.
Time is a thing I don't have much of these days.
Yeah, so how many of the cabinets in the Wonderville space have you worked on personally? Almost all of them, right?
Almost all of them. The two Bumble Bear cabs, Killer Queen and Black Emperor, I have not.
Yep.
Vec 9. And Typing Party.
And Typing Party, yeah.
And the rest of them, I mean, with the exception of Dobotone and the stuff in Line Wobbler, I have worked on all of them. Somebody is asking how to donate. We should make that more evident on the stream.
Yeah, there should be a link in the bio for our channel, Doom Church.
You know what? I was actually looking at this with Juno, and if you're on mobile, it's really hard to find the link.
Interesting. Okay, let me see what I can do about that.
But yeah, in the actual browser version of the stream, you'll see it in the profile.
Yeah, the bio is a little bit hidden, which kind of sucks. Sorry, if you want to just keep telling that story you were telling about. Actually, just tell me about how a cabinet build works.
So
let's just start really general.
Okay, so the way I started building arcade cabinets is I started looking around at blogs about people who were building MAME cabinets, M-A-M-E. There's a big community out there who basically want a full-fledged, retro arcade cabinet in their house. And so if you want to build a cabinet that just has like a bunch of emulators and questionably legal licensed content for your home use, there are many blogs that can tell you how to do this. And you generally need some woodworking tools, some soldering and electronics experience, but not much. Like, you can probably find most of this stuff on the internet. And even if you just have a jigsaw and a drill, you could probably do most of the work. So what I like to do with these cabinet builds is work with the developers and build it together. So it's more of like a learning experience. And, sort of design the cabinet together. We usually draw it out first, we sketch it, and then we'll sit down in a wood shop, we'll sketch the cabinet out, and then, you know, cut it out with a jigsaw, assemble it together. It's just about cutting wood pieces to size and screwing them together. And so what has worked for me in the past is picking the profiles of the cabinet sides, right? So you have like the shape of what the cabinet looks like from the side, and those are your exterior pieces. And then all of your pieces in between are the same width, right? So your console, your bottom, your front, center, all of these pieces just fit in between. So let's say for Witchball, we picked 24 inches as our cross section. So now, you know, you draw out your sides, you cut them out, and then every piece fits in between.
Yeah.
Screw that all together. I know I'm kind of glazing over screw that all together.
Yeah, screw that all together is a big step,
But basically, after that's done, you paint the whole thing. And what we kind of like to do is do a base coat of like maybe black, maybe red, and then kind of either have an artist paint the sides over that or get some decals that go over the top. And then you'll want to install electronics. Joysticks and buttons are the typical interfaces, but we like to skew toward more weird stuff these days.
Yes. This is a conversation that I was having with Ilya, actually, is like part of what's cool about building arcade indie cabinets is that you don't necessarily have to worry about mass production, which means you could do a bunch of like really weird shit and just sort of like go with it.
Totally. I mean, my favorite is Vec 9, right? Where it's an M1 tank controller.
Yeah, it's literally like this. I think it's rad as hell. The whole.
Yeah. And they bought 5 of them just in case they decided to build, you know, like 5 Vec 9s.
Or Typing Party, Icarus Proud Bottoms Typing Party, the newest cabinet we have, where the controllers are 2 standard keyboards.
Standard, but also
standard,
like
but also a little weird.
Light up mechanical keyboards, which are like, we can't just buy keyboards off the internet and put them in there. They're like specific.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of non-traditional interfaces. And I think that's the fun of building arcades as one-offs, as more like art projects where you can experiment and get weird with it. Now, I don't think Ilya is planning to do anything crazy with Witchball. Maybe you talked to him about it?
We had some conversations about some kind of cool shit. Yeah.
Cool.
Have you heard about the ball?
I've heard about the light-up ball.
Yeah, the light-up ball. It's a good idea. We should do the light-up ball.
Yeah, for sure.
It's also kind of on brand with the direction that our like MagFest exhibit/installation is going.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of light-up stuff.
It's going to be a lot of light-up stuff and possibly more than one sphere.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if we said this, but the plan is for Witchball to debut at MagFest.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting.
During a panel?
No.
No.
The panel,
okay, cool.
We're doing different.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Witchball will just be finished, and we'll bring it to MagFest. So.
Witchball will be finished and premiere at MagFest.
Exactly.
You heard it here first.
That's the plan. Anyway, you know, if long as we get the last 96%.
Right.
But yeah, so actually, you know, a good resource if people are watching, we did a panel last year at MagFest.
We did, yeah.
How to build an arcade cabinet, where we built Kung Fu Kickball. And it's about an hour, but if you go on YouTube and search for Death by Audio Arcade, you can probably find it. We just accidentally covered the stream.
No one has to know.
No one knows.
No one has to know. It didn't go to the stream. That was just me. What is the name of our YouTube channel? I don't actually remember.
DBAA Arcade.
It is DBAA Arcade.
But you probably want to type YouTube with a T. YouTube.
It's not a keyboard that I'm used to using.
That's YouTube. You're close. You're so close to typing it right.
There we go. There we go.
How are you doing?
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, hey. Mark, can I ask you to sound check me on the mic downstairs?
Absolutely.
So you can start recruiting people for the tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which mic you're going to be on? Channel 5? All right. I'll be right here on this fader. Search.
I'll
think you got to
I'll
go.
find it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just search for DBA Arcade. I think it's not just youtube.com/DBA Arcade.
Yeah, no, the channel thing is different.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. I'm just gonna pull up a link and drop it in chat.
Yeah.
So yes, we did a panel on how to do this last year.
There it is. And so we worked with Sox McGox, who's based out of Pittsburgh, and he assembled. There it is. He assembled the body of the cabinet, and then I worked on the console, which is the joystick button part here in New York, which, in retrospect, was maybe a bad idea, because what ended up happening with Kung Fu Kickball was that the console was far too big for the body, so it's a little bit front heavy. So
I did not know that about that cabinet.
if you play Kung Fu Kickball, you'll notice it kind of wants to fall forward. So I filled it with bricks, which is a super high-tech way to keep your cabinet from falling over.
Pause for just a second. Thank you, Doom Church, for the donation of $25. And sorry that the link wasn't clearly visible in the video feed. I will be fixing that. Also, announcement has just been made that we will have a Witchball tournament starting in about 15 minutes at like 8:45/9. So we'll see if we can get some sort of play-by-play going on up here, because I know we've got a few Witchball pros in the space tonight.
And, another promo, even though this is the Witchball fundraiser, it's also Tournament Tuesday here at Wonderville, which is our recurring night to come out and play indie games for prizes, which are usually free drinks.
Usually.
But I think there's actually a physical reward.
There's a physical
tonight.
prize. Yeah, Steph made a plaque.
Yeah.
It's extremely on brand
It's
for
really
Witchball.
nice.
It's very nice.
If you can get here in like 15 minutes, you can win that.
You got
plaque.
15 minutes.
Yeah. 1186 Broadway.
Yep.
Brooklyn. Don't go to Manhattan.
Use Juno. Don't use Uber. Don't use Lyft. Use Juno.
Yeah. Or take a Revel.
Or take a
You can park a Revel right outside. It's a little wet, but at your own risk.
Yeah. Is Revel evil, do you think?
I use it all the time.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. Do you think it's evil?
I mean,
Because
yeah,
it's less evil than the scooters thing.
sure.
Because the scooters thing is very evil.
All of these transportation companies are probably evil.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
they're just monopolizing the city. But, I don't know. At a certain point,
Here's what I'll take the J train.
there you go. Take public transportation. It comes right here.
It comes right here.
And the J, unlike most trains in New York, kind of is
Pretty
reliable.
good.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty good train.
No, I rely on it daily, and it's very reliable.
It's above
compared to
ground. You get a nice view.
Delightful.
You get service the whole time.
Yep. If anyone is tuning in who lives in Manhattan, move to Brooklyn. It's nicer.
Or just take the J train. It comes directly here.
Or take the J train out of Manhattan to here tonight for a tournament in 15 minutes.
And win this plaque. You could
win this plaque. And some drink tokens. They're
And
nice.
Some drink tokens.
Can I?
Oh, yeah. These were designed by Chris Hernandez in about 35 seconds, but they're so beautiful.
Yeah, he sort of got it right in one take, so.
Yeah. It was funny because, the people who printed these drink tokens were like, do you know that you spelled drink wrong? Because they say drank tokens. And I was like, no, this was intentional.
No, we know. We know.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Thank you, but also we know. We just went on a hell of a tangent, and I sort of had the script in mind, but it's gone now. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take it?
You want to talk about MagFest?
Let's talk about MagFest.
Let's talk about MagFest. Because you've been involved with MagFest for a long time, I assume. I don't actually know. I've never talked to you about this before.
Okay, so we built Crystal Brawl
Yeah.
in 2013.
Yeah. The first ever Death by Audio arcade cabinet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we're taking this to MagFest. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Sure. They're like, we're going to show up on New Year's Day to Death by Audio. And I was like, sounds crazy, but fine.
Who is they? Chris?
Studio Mercado.
Studio Mercado.
Studio Mercado was a bunch of people. And
Yep.
I think the only one left in New York is Chris Hernandez.
Chris Hernandez. Yep.
But at the time, it was John Stokes, who I think lives in the woods. Ben Service, who was just here, but he lives in Mississippi.
Ben was here?
Ben was here.
Oh, fuck.
I saw him this weekend.
Damn it.
I know.
Should have hung out with
He
Ben.
was elusive.
Ben, if you're tuned in, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Josh Rabb, who's amazing, but I forget where he lives. Anyone on the stream want to tell me? He does not live in New York. And I want to say there was another person, but I don't remember at the time. There are other members of Studio Mercado who did not work on Crystal Brawl. So anyway, we built Crystal Brawl, and they took it to MagFest, and that was 2014. And the year after that, we emailed MagFest, and we had about 5 cabinets, and we were like, can we bring them? And they came to New York and picked them up and brought them to DC, which was really amazing.
Yeah.
But one of the cabinets went missing. It was like left in the warehouse, and we had to track it down. So the year after that, which I guess is 2016, we were like, you know what, we'll bring all of our own cabinets down.
Interesting, which was my first MagFest as just a guest.
So
yeah,
the first year that we took down our cabinets, they were just in the general arcade.
Okay.
And which was cool, but people, I remember watching someone play Powerboat Italia, and they were like, I remember this! And I was like, no, this is not an old cabinet. We built this. And we were like, how do we provide context? Like, no one can tell the difference. Everyone thinks these are retro games. And like, you know, so we were like, okay, we want to like go to MagFest, but we want to like set up an info table to be like, hey, we built this stuff. So the next year, 2016, we were like, can we be in MIVS, which is the MagFest Indie Video Game Showcase? And they were like, sure, we'll like carve out a section in the back of the room.
Yeah.
You can set up a table, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so in 2016, this is my favorite year. We were like, here's what we'll do. We'll build an intentionally bad cabinet that's not painted, it's made completely out of plywood, and then people will know that we build cabinets. And we called it Boxy, because everything was a right angle. And it was the ugliest cabinet we've ever made. I made it in 2 hours.
Wow.
And it was made to be bad.
Bring back Boxy.
No, it's gone.
Can we start a petition?
No, we're not bringing back Boxy.
Oh no. Hey, we have a guest, if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Signal. Let me. Okay. So, yeah. Steven is
we
here.
lost the stream.
You can.
My fault.
Oh.
The server.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want to hop on the stream?
Sorry, we've had something get knocked over.
That's
just
okay.
a moment.
We have Steven from the New York Post, who we can hop on the stream. Let me. I'm gonna go troubleshoot.
Yeah, we'll give that a second, see if it comes back. Luckily, we are prepared for this.
Hey.
Mark, do you want to hit this and I'll go downstairs and see if anything's broken down there?
It's on top of. Oh, I see exactly what happened. Here's tower. Boom. Sorry about that. No worries.
Yeah, totally fine.
That's a good thing about a live stream is it's just happening forever. I just wanted to get a couple shots of you guys.
And we're back.
Oh yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're back. We're back. Oh no, it's a hashtag.
Oh, bring back Boxy. Yes.
So.
Yes.
Oh man, it was so bad. There are photos from MagFest 2016, and we were like, you know what? Anybody can put their games on Boxy. We like told MIVS, and so like people were bringing their games over, and they were like, yo, this cabinet is really ugly. And we were like, no, we know it's supposed to be. Like, look, it means we build cabinets.
Right.
But yeah, no, that was not the right way to go about getting the point across.
What was on it? Were there games on it?
No, it was sort of a rotating cab. Actually, Volleygon debuted on Boxy. So we had.
And then Nick asked for an upgrade?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
It had to happen. There were a few games on Boxy. It lived at Flowers for All Occasions when we did our gallery there. And I remember at that time I was teaching at NYU. I had an arcade cabinets class, and I was like,
which you're bringing back this semester, right?
yeah, sneak preview. I don't know if it's sneak anymore.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The
Whoops,
new
sorry.
arcade.
Did I break an NDA?
don't
Did I
think
get you
so.
fired?
No. Yeah, the new arcade I'm bringing back in the spring. So it's an ITP course at NYU, and it's not going to be. It used to be an arcade cabinet class. Now it's going to be like an arcade interfaces class. So it's not strictly cabinets. Like
right.
We're going to do carnival games. We're going to do all sorts of different kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember sending my class there on a field trip, and they wrote about the cabinets, and I remember them all being like, and then there was this like one really ugly one that like wasn't painted, and it was like all rough angles. And I was like, yeah.
Bring back Foxy.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Hey, are either of you allergic to peanuts?
No.
No.
Do you want some stream nuts?
Stream
Oh, yeah.
nuts.
Cool. Enjoy.
Stream snacks, courtesy of arcade manager Jamie. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, stream nuts.
Remember to lean back from the mic when you crunch. Yeah. Unless we're an ASMR stream now. I don't actually know. I always wonder, because that seems to be where the money's at.
We could just do the interview on ASMR.
It's true, yeah.
Are there hashtags that we could use?
Do I crank up the gain for this? I don't actually know.
How do we get into those channels?
So... Ooh.
Got a really good look. Because I can hear it, and we sound great.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I could like scrape a side of a...
This is nothing.
You really gotta plan ASMR.
I really gotta
know
plan
how much
ASMR.
Effort went into it.
Yeah. We were talking about Boxy. So
Yep.
that was the first indie arcade then.
So in
Yeah.
2016, it was the first time at MagFest we were a standalone entity, and Mivs had indie arcades, and
Yeah.
that year they were like, you know what, we're just gonna send them to you. So there was a really great game that came out of, I want to say Ohio, called Trace Vector, and it was a one-player kind of puzzle game, and they had a cabinet, and it was in the indie arcade before it was like a legit indie arcade. But you can get Trace Vector on Steam. Vexel Games. That's the
Vexel
one.
Games.
Yeah.
Copy.
Oh yeah.
Paste. Boom.
This cabinet exists somewhere in the world, and I would love for it to come back to MagFest. But after 2016, we did not see it anymore. But it's super fun.
Yeah, this looks super fun. This is pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So that was 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
And so in 2017, they were like, hey, you're like handling your own transportation. You're like doing a lot of your own staffing.
And
Why
by
don't-
you, do they mean you?
Well, Death by Audio Arcade.
All right.
Because at this point, MagFest was too much for just me.
Yeah.
Like, we had tournaments going on, we had merch, there were all these different departments. So, like, MagFest was the biggest coordinated effort of the year for us as a nonprofit organization. So in 2017, we were like, okay, we can make the indie arcade a legit thing.
Yeah.
And we decided to invite Baby Castles. Now, hey, Stephanie's here, co-owner of Wonderville. It's going to be Stephanie's first MagFest this year. Stephanie, you
Really?
want to talk about how excited you are about coming to MagFest?
I am really looking forward to MagFest 2021.
You're lost.
I have plans, but MagFest is great, and you all should go, but not really, because you should be at Wonderville.
That is an interesting split, you know.
There's so many repairs we have to do that take like 4 days.
Who am I talking to? Am I talking to the ether?
We have 4 viewers.
We're bigging you
now.
up. Yeah, we're bigging you up on the mic.
Hi, viewers.
4 concurrent viewers and all viewers of the video that we cut out of this. That's the highlight reel of this night that we put on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which we will definitely include
wow, I'm over
this
there.
interaction.
Oh yeah, you're on
you're
the
all
screen.
over. You're in the bar. Yeah. The camera's over here.
I know how cameras work. I'm like, I want to see myself fit. I can't do it.
People are playing Witchball.
People are playing Witchball. I think the tournament's actually starting soon. So it might make sense for us to hop off for another like 10-minute break.
And we can even broadcast the tournament.
Yeah, we'll be broadcasting the tournament. I'm going to see if I can find someone who can give play-by-play on this game.
Cool.
Yeah. And so yeah, we'll be back at 9 o'clock.
Cool. Bye, guys.
See y'all in a bit.